What is up, YouTube? John back here with another video for you. Now, I got something a little different for you today. And this is actually going to address a topic that has been coming up a lot. But as you can see, I got a package in. And what did I get in said package? I spoke with a seller who was on eBay. Now, before you say anything, you got to hear out the full story. And he is actually selling the actual Benchmade CF Elite scales. He took them off his Benchmade knife and he was selling them. Now, you could be saying, how do you know these are not fakes? Well, I'll tell you this much. I actually did buy a quote-unquote set of these online on eBay. And those were fakes compared to this one. These are not fakes. These actually have very, very, very little bend. They're very stiff. The other ones literally felt like plastic that I could just bend right in half. I was actually looking for the broken pieces. And I think I might have them in here. Oh yeah, I do have them in here. Okay, so So for a different video, I was going to post, but I didn't actually like it. I was going to post these scales. So these are the fake Benchmade Bugout scales. Okay, I'm going to push everything off to the side. So the whole point of this video is I wanted to show you that, one, how to change out scales on a Bugout. But two, I just wanted to show this really fast. So yes, I did get technically scammed on eBay for these scales, which I was a little pissed about. He claims he didn't claim that they were actual Bugout, the CF Elite scales, but I didn't get into it. I got them for wicked cheap. I should have known better, yes. But the thing is, though, is that Benchmade does not sell these at all. They do not sell them separate, and they break so easily. So to anybody out there who says, oh, the Chinese versions of Bugouts are just as good, no, they're not. This was a Chinese scale, and I could tell because after doing a little bit of research, these are definitely made in China, not the United States ones. As you can see, there is a difference, okay? There's black, what do you call them? Black wash, I forgot what these are called, threads. There's black threads in there. There's brass ones in here. As you can tell, this is all cut out, which there shouldn't be. This is actually how it's supposed to be, okay? It's hard to tell, but believe it or not, this area on the fake one is actually extremely thin compared to the real one. I don't know if you could see that. It's hard to tell, yes, but this is a little bit thicker versus this. On the outside, they look like they could be the same, but I mean, we talked about the diamond patterns before. Diamond pattern is slightly different. And the thing is, though, is that, watch this. Let's see if I could do it. See how that's bending? Now, this is a very small area. And I'm still able to get it to bend. See? Okay. It's hard to tell, yes, through the camera. But I'm able to get to bend, which you should not be able to do that. And if I take this, I'll be able to obviously break this. See? Look how easy it is to bend. Okay, Benchmade scales, real ones, do not bend like this. That's my whole point of showing you these Chinese ripoffs and why they break. This was just me going like this. In the other video, maybe I'll try to get that clip in this video. But all I did was just go like this. That's it, and they broke right apart. Okay. Now, as much as I don't want to do this, see. There's a give, yes, but is not bending like the other ones did. And that's my hand moving. That's not this bending. See, if I take a small area, I can't bend it. That's the whole point. The purpose of this video is I wanted to show you how to change out the Bugout scales and what to do. Okay? You're going to need a T10. You're going to need a T6. I don't know if I can see the T6. There's the T6. Oh well, it's a T6. Okay? The T10 is only for the pivot screw. Okay? Now, while I'm taking this apart, the reason why I wanted to talk about me buying these scales off of eBay is I've had a lot of comments recently of, this is why you buy from an actual store like, you know, Blade HQ or DLT Trading or something, you know, whatever other place that you buy from. Yes, I know this. I know that's where you actually buy good knives from. If you actually listen to the video, I wanted to get a knife on a discount because I wanted to mess with it. At the time, I wasn't really involved with messing with knives. Okay, so this is on this side. So when I'm going to put this scale with that side, because that's the side that it came off of. And I'm going to put this scale on this side, and that's where that came off. This is just for me to remember. You don't have to do this. Now, you could be also asking, why are you changing out your scales on your Bugout if you said you didn't want to do it originally? Well, originally, I didn't know how to do it. There's the knife, one of my phosphor washers, two of my phosphor washers, the blade. Now, when I don't know how to do something, I don't like to just go ahead and start trying to open it up to figure out how to do it. That's just who I am. I don't always like to get my hands dirty, especially because everything I was hearing about Benchmade Bugouts was that they're quote-unquote so hard. They're so hard to tear apart and put back together and everything else. These are dirty. Look how dirty those are. I haven't cleaned this in a while. And that's the other reason why I'm doing this. Now, look. This is a legitimate Bugout. I bought this Bugout from DLT Trading. So I know it's not a Chinese Bugout. It's from DLT Trading. Look at the scale pattern on the inside versus the ones that I bought. Okay? They're the exact same. Okay? And you can even see for the fake one, there's a number 4 inside. There's also these little dots in here. Some other guy was like, oh, you apparently don't understand the difference of difference, the word difference. I was like, I'm literally showing how there's a difference between the fake Chinese Bugout versus the real Bugout. I just don't get people sometimes. I understand it's the internet and it shouldn't let it get to me, blah, 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 blah. But you know what? It doesn't feel good when people sit there and make you feel like you're stupid when all you did was try to help people and not get them to, get something fake that was online. Because you know what? It hurts. It hurts to spend your money and get something fake. I've done it a couple times now. And yes, they have been on eBay. But you know what? I've also bought other knives on eBay that have not been fake. So I just want to address those issues that, yeah, I understand eBay is not a credible source for good quality knives. And sometimes people do scams and yada, yada, yada. And I get that, okay? The whole point of me doing this isn't to sit here and say, woe is me, or to, anything else besides saying, hey, don't go through what I went through. I don't want anybody to go through what I went through. Okay? The other reason why I wanted to change out the blue scales is because these do have more flex than the CF Elite ones. Now, you could ask, why didn't you buy a CF Elite instead of just doing that? Well, at the time I bought the Bugout, I didn't realize the scale difference. I didn't know what the CF Elites were, stuff like that. And I don't even know if the CF Elites were even out when I bought a Bugout originally. So that is another thing too. Now I'm taking this whole knife completely apart. And I want to show you that it's not that hard to take apart a Benchmade Bugout. I just realized this light is so bright. I am so sorry. I have a rag here from Mighty Hanks. Okay. Right now the rag is dry. You could use a little rubbing alcohol, which I don't actually know. Oh, I think I found mine, but you could use a little rubbing alcohol, but I don't feel like it's that necessary because a lot of this stuff is just a little bit of crap. If you feel like it's really gunked on there, then yes, rubbing alcohol is fine. There's nothing wrong with it. I just don't feel like I need it at this point in time. Everything's able to clean up fairly easily and fairly simple. I'm going to show you how easy and or hard it can be to put back together a Benchmade Bugout. And then I'll have a Benchmade Bugout with the CF Elite handles and the blade and the cool blue accents with the CF Elite handles. I don't know if there's going to be any issues with having the CF Elite handles versus the other ones, but we'll go from there. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is to put it back together. So I'm going to take this side because this is the side that has the this is the side that has basically the it's not the screwed in side, it's the other side, whatever you want to call it. Now on here, I don't know if you could tell, now that there's not enough light, you can't see it. See how there's one side that has, it's a little bit flat versus the rest is round. That is actually for these, okay? So you're going to line up the flat with the flat. That's like that. That rhymed. And I just did that wrong. See? Even showing you guys, I made a mistake. So that goes just like this. Come on. There we go. Okay? So that was fairly simple. Just goes in here. Nothing, no issue. Okay? Now, what I'm going to do beforehand, though, I just wanted to show you how easy that was, but what I'm going to take is we got to put this crossbar lock back in. Okay? So you're going to feed the spring through. Okay? Feed it through. We're going to come down to the heavier, the bigger part right here. We're going to come down to the bigger part. We're going to not get that caught. We're going to push that forward, okay? I just got the spring stuck. It's not hard, it's just annoying a little bit. I'm going to take the spring, I'm going to push it in, and now our spring assembly is in the crossbar lock. Then this goes into here, okay? This piece is the little stopper up here. Make sure, now the stopper is technically got a flat side on it, so we're going to match up the flat side to flat side. Then we're going to take one of these T6 screws, we're going to place it in here, right up here, and I'm just going to screw that in. Not over tighten it. That's a key thing. T6 screws strip out really easily, and 2, you start over tightening stuff, you won't be able to get your blade centered, okay? For this one, I'm just going to take another T6. I'm just going to place it in. Looks awesome already. Sweet. Okay. So now, we're going to grab our pivot again. As we showed you, there was a flat side of the pivot, and that pivot will go into here. There it goes. Okay. Now I'm going to take a little KPL. You don't have to use KPL. There's Benchmade, Blue Lube. There's a couple other companies. I just use KPL because from what I understood, at the time when I got it is everyone made it seem like they were the best. I didn't put a lot on. It just kind of dripped out a little bit too much, which I could take my cloth and just dab up a little bit of excess because I don't want that much. Just want a little bit. A little bit really does go a long way with this stuff. You start over lubing this stuff and then it starts having more issues. So now we're going to put the knife blade in here. Now I'm going to have to pull back on the crossbar lock, okay? And see? Just pulled back on the crossbar lock and now it's in. Ooh, that looks good. Look at that. Ooh, I just dropped it. I don't know. I'm a sucker for silver blades with black handles. I guess that's kind of one of my favorite styles. Now, we're going to just put a tad bit more of the blue loop or the KPL on here. Just a little bit. Nothing major. Pause. Okay. We got to get these spacers in. Now with these ones, you can go a little bit, you can give it, if it goes, you can give it a little bit more tension. You don't have to screw them down wicked tight, but you can give it a little more tension. And the back one. Now there is a little area where you have to, there it goes, a little flat area. And we'll get the screw back on there. I'll put on this later because I don't need it this second. Now, after I got those on there, I'm going to then put these on here. And then we're going to get that pivot screw in here. I'm not going super tight with the pivot screw. I'm just leaving it loose for right now. Then, now that everything else is in there, then we're going to start putting in the other screws. Like I said, not over tightening anything at this point, not cranking anything down. 1, 2, 6 screws really strip easily, and 2, you want to make sure you're pretty centered in that blade before you even do anything else. Okay, so now I'm going to just check. Blade centering is way off, which is fine. So now I'm going to start tightening some stuff up. So I'm going to give that a little tight. I'm going to make that a little bit tight. Make this tight. Not overly tight, just snug basically. Get that a little tighter. Give this a little tight. Give this a little tight. This one just a little bit more love, and this a little bit more love. Okay, let's check it. I didn't touch the pivot screw yet. Still pretty far off. So now what we're going to do is we're going to switch over to our T10, and now I'm going to push on the opposite direction that I'm actually trying to get the blade back. No, not the opposite. Yeah. See how far the blade's still off? Okay. It's fine. Oh. I'm gonna now pull in the same direction. Let's see how that works. Better. Not great. Let's see, so it's favoring this side. So I'm going to loosen up this side. I'm going to try to tighten up this side just a tad bit. Okay, so I'm going to do the other trick. Loosen this up. Put this in here. Doesn't need that much. Okay, I'm going to tighten this up pretty tight, not like right about there. Remove this. Still slings that way. I will get the blade centered in a minute. Right now I'm going to put this on. It's probably something silly that I'm just forgetting. But I would say that's pretty much a success. Looks absolutely wicked. I mean, falls down just by doing this. Can't complain about that. Okay. Well, I hope I helped anybody out there today. I'm going to work on this pivot some more. You guys take care of yourselves. Bye. Hey guys, back here again. I know I said goodbye already in the last one. What I did is I actually just wanted to give a slight little update. So I got the centering just on. Perfect. Flicks open, drop shuts, amazing. The difference between the Grivery and the CF Elite scales are definitely noticeable. It still has some flex in it, but the issue I was having with the Grivery scales, and I've tried other bug outs with Grivery scales, and they suffer from the same exact thing as these. When you could actually pinch it down here and move it back and forth, and the blade would actually shift. So what I noticed is that when I was actually stropping, if I would go a little bit too hard because I was trying to get it at a certain degree or angle or trying to get a certain thing, and then I would shut it, all of a sudden my blade would actually be off-centered. So it's one of the reasons why I didn't hate these scales, because I actually like how they feel and stuff. I actually kind of like these better. They almost have a little more of like a powder coated kind of feel, like a little more of a grippy powdery feel, but still similar. And I think it just looks really good. So if I can find that video where I destroyed these scales and how easy it was, and these are actually carbon fiber scales too, and these ones are actually from a fake Bugout. It was this video that I was I took the whole thing apart and then kind of dissected what a fake bug out looked like on the inside. And when I was pulling these apart, now carbon fiber doesn't really break that easily, but actually cracked right there. But while I was doing that, I grabbed these with the, you know, the fake bug out scales, and I was able to break them apart really easy without any issue. Now these pieces are obviously a lot smaller, so it's a little bit different. Yeah, if I could find that video, I will hopefully have it in after here. If not, thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Yes, I know eBay sometimes sells fake stuff, but in this case I actually got something good. I got real CF Elite scales from a different bug out that the guy just replaced his scales. So I'm actually very happy with that. Doesn't mean that eBay only sells, you know, clones, but you just got to be careful and got to look at, and you got to ask. You got to ask the person. I actually straight up asked him. I was like, look, I got scammed once before. I was just curious if these are the real scales. And he said, yeah, he took them off his CF Elite. And I didn't know he could, you know, be lying, but I find most knife people are fairly honest, which is nice. So hope this video did help you guys if you're wanting to change out your scales and your bug out, and to show you that it's not that scary. It just takes a little bit of time, and it's pretty rewarding in the end. Take care, guys. Online, and they sent me these, and I was like, oh sweet, the CF Elite handles, you know, somebody's selling them aftermarket. Nope. Look at this. Ready? Look at that. Ready? You think that's gonna last? People think the clones sometimes will last more. Look at this. Ready? Same thing. Right in the same area. And this? This was $15 for these stupid handles, you know, and they end up being the cheap crap. So I emailed the guy. I mailed him. I was like, dude, tell me straight out, for these fakes? And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't want to get into it. I already got my money back for the other one.